Nice to see you.
Good to see you too, Una.
Thank you very much for joining us for an interview with you. Some questions and answers that we hope we can share with our alumni community from you as our recipient of the Student of the Year Award. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's a pretty big honor.
So the questions will be a little bit about Acadia and, of course, a lot about you. So the first one I'm going to ask you about is what attracted you to Acadia in the first place?
It was just a small town atmosphere, to be honest. I know everyone says that, but growing up in a rural community in Ontario with a town about the same size as Wolfville, I just kind of fell in love with the idea that I could go to university in a town like that. And I always tell people that, like prospective students, I guess, that you can always choose to live in a city when you're a professional, when there's all these job opportunities. But when do you have the opportunity to go live in a town of 4,000 people, and especially with some of your closest friends over 4 years, it's a pretty incredible opportunity. And I was lucky enough that I took that and had a great 4 years, 5 years, I guess.
So is there anyone who you met on campus who particularly influenced your life choices and sort of what you're starting to do now in terms of your career?
Yeah, that's a long list. Obviously, I'd have to start the main reason why the first reason why I chose to come to Acadia was probably athletics. So obviously Kevin, Krista, they were amazing to me, and then Burnsy and Killer and the coaching staff, they took me under their wing and made sure I was kind of up for any opportunity that they threw my way, and I jumped on as many as I could. And then Jim McLeod in the ATs, he spent a lot of time with them as a student athlete, and yeah, it was pretty cool getting to know some of them. And my teammates, obviously, my classmates, the faculty in business and in engineering, they were unbelievable to me. And probably the other people that really shaped me and really helped me through my years were my APA co-president, and that started off with Sarah Ross. She was a volleyball player. She was a great leader. Took me under her wing first year as co-president. Then moving on to Sarah Baxter. She was also just so determined, so organized, and kept me in line. And then my final year was with Sky, and I can't thank Sky enough for how much she pulled me through and helped me out. It was unbelievable. And yeah, I really I cherish our time together because I like to think we're still pretty good friends. But she was amazing to me. And then probably Tracy McGilvery. She's a pretty well-known alumni, and yeah, we'll probably talk about a little more with her later on. But she's also unbelievable to me, and I'm so thankful and appreciative that I got the opportunity to meet her and move on in the professional world with her.
Wonderful. Well, I won't force you on a spoiler on that one, and I'll wait patiently until we get that questioning.
Sounds good.
You certainly mentioned a lot of rock stars in your list, and I often talk about the goosebump factor, and you got me on the goosebump factor when you were naming some of those names, because I certainly know many of them well and can certainly see how the influence was there for you. You mentioned opportunities outside of athletics. So if I were to ask you to speak about one of them in particular, which one would it be?
APA was really big for me, but also that's the Acadia Players Association, which is just kind of the student athlete council. We organize events and help with some fundraisers where we can. But probably Smile was. A lot of people will say the same, and it's tough waking up Tuesday, Thursday mornings, but once you get there, it's well worth it. And I was lucky enough to become close with my Smile buddy after my first year, and he was able to come to all my games, and he still messages me, and we became pretty close. And I guess the cliche would be that I took as much from him as he took from me, and I think that's the biggest thing about Smile. And obviously Roxanne, I should have mentioned her before, but Roxanne was a superstar. Andrew was a superstar, and I'm really glad that I got that opportunity and I was able to move from instructor to a leader. And I really cherish my time with Smile.
You got me on the goosebump factor again.
I'm getting goosebumps too.
Right? So one of the things you said though that I got to call you out on, you said those early mornings. You're a hockey player. You must be used to early mornings your entire life.
I think everyone on my team will complain about early mornings still. So I think the swimmers are the only ones used to early mornings, where the hockey players, we go to classes and then we get practice. But yeah, no, it was difficult, but yeah, obviously, like everyone would say, it was worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. So you may have touched on this a little bit already, but if I were to ask you what your fondest Acadia memory is, what would you say?
I always think about like what the best memory was, but it's honestly just, like every weekend, every weeknight, I guess, at the library. And I was lucky to live with my roommate for 4 years, and we had a few other roommates that we're still really close with too. But all of my times with Brett Cote was just like memorable. We're still, best of friends, and I can't really narrow it down to one, but just being at the library, seeing everyone, being at the Ville, seeing everyone, being at the Lib Club, Joe's, the rink. It's a neat experience that you can't really find many other places in the country.
Mm-hmm. It's tough not to get engulfed in it all, because as you say, no matter where you go, you see people and you have that experience. Absolutely.
Exactly.
So Liam, what does it mean to you to have received the Student of the Year award?
It's just like an incredible honor. I can't really explain it any other way. There's tons of other deserving students that took the opportunities at Acadia to make a difference and to push themselves to be better, and to come in and leave as a changed, hopefully for the better person. And yeah, I'm really grateful to the other nominees. I'm really grateful to the people who also nominated me, but I don't think I'm probably any more deserving than any of the other students that names were put forward. And yeah, it's just an incredible honor.
So in the same vein, why do you think it's important that the Acadia Alumni Association recognizes members in this way?
Just keeps that connection going. I'm 1 year out, and I already miss Acadia, and so it just keeps the connection to where I think many people can attest that their most developmental years were at Acadia or at university, but specifically at Acadia, it was such a close-knit community that you want to keep that connection. You want to stay in touch with whoever you can, whoever made a difference in your life while you were there. And yeah, I think that's just the biggest reason why I want to stay connected to Acadia. I want to be able to meet new people and tell them proudly that I went to Acadia and that I still support Acadia and still push for prospective students to go there.
Well, and the bonus in that is that we're not going anywhere, and we welcome you back anytime.
Sounds good.
Our doors are always open. And it's a great segue into the next question that I have for you, Liam. And it's you've been described as a top flight ambassador for Acadia, and clearly you continue to do so. How did your academic, student, athlete, and volunteer experiences shape your Acadia journey along the way? Like, what would you say to some of those prospective students that you mentioned?
The support's going to be there. You just have to kind of put yourself out there and don't be afraid to take those, I guess, chances that are put in front of you, because you never know where they'll go. I probably, if I hadn't have had the older guys on the team steer me in the direction of Smile or something like that, I probably would have taken my time to get used to things at university and kind of get back into the flow. But they were just like, no, you gotta you got to come with me, come to the Smile meeting tonight. It's worth it. It's, you're going to enjoy it. Or even the APA. I remember my older teammate, Mike Gazzola, he was part of the APA, and it was my first year, and I still had no idea what was going on. I was still finding my classes, and he dragged me to some meetings, and it really helped me just get my feet wet, kind of learn on the go, and yeah, just not be afraid of taking those chances and jumping on whatever comes your way.
That leadership and guidance that you talk about, you're right. It's sort of take what comes your way, but having those people guide you and make those suggestions, and then, without really knowing it, or perhaps without even knowing it, you became that person. So then it's what comes around goes around, right? So then providing that leadership and guidance to those who came after you, that's kind of what keeps us going. So how transformative were those experiences, and how influential were they in determining where you are now and what you believe Acadia offers?
It's priceless. I mean, I can tell you that that I learned so much about, interacting with people, and I came in obviously as a hockey player, I came in late and a little older than most other first year undergrads, but it's just, you learn that, you're allowed to make mistakes, and, you might be held accountable for those mistakes, but there's still room to grow. And Acadia 100% showed me that as long as you're willing to put in that work and willing to make strides and, make the effort to make the right decisions, you're going to have that support from everyone around you. And that was probably the most incredible thing. I can't really say enough about that, just because I've leaving Acadia as a way, different person, and, more experienced, more, I guess, I'm trying to think of the right word, but you don't feel bulletproof, but you feel I don't know how to explain it, but you just feel a lot more confident in yourself and where you're going to go moving on from them.
I don't know. I kind of like bulletproof.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Resilient. That's the word I was saying. Resilient.
Excellent. Yeah. Good choice of word.
Yeah.
And you talk about being able to make mistakes and having that supportive environment when you do make mistakes. And, as a mother, I think about how many times I use the phrases of failures are not dead ends. They're merely detours on the road to success, and all of those cliches, right? But it truly is woven into the fabric of what we have here in this little town and this little university. So it sounds like Acadia certainly played a role in your life so far, and certainly sounds like you have suggested that it will continue to play a role in your life, and you'll visit us and you'll speak well about your experience when you're out and about and doing your things in the world. And that's where I'm going with the next question, is to ask you to share with us a little bit about where you are now, and what you're doing and what your plans are for the future.
So right now I'm at Dalhousie, so I'm in Halifax. I'm living with my girlfriend, who I met at Acadia, and I'm just kind of finding my way. I'm finishing off my my mechanical engineering degree. That Acadia and Dal have the agreement with, like other Eastern schools, where you do your first 2 or 3 years at Acadia, and then you finish up your last 2 or 3 at Dalhousie. So I'm working my way through there, but I was lucky enough. This is probably what I'm most excited about. I was lucky enough to get in touch with Tracy McGilvery, who's just an amazing person, an amazing friend to have, and we were able to connect. She knew I was in mechanical engineering and called me out of the blue one day and asked me if I wanted to go on a little adventure with her. So we started a company together about almost a year and a half ago, and we're basically trying to keep people at home longer. And we saw with COVID how that impacts, especially the elderly population, where they want to stay at home and they want to feel comfortable at home. And we're trying to design devices that will allow for that. And anyone with mobility issues, and in particular, our first device, our first prototype that we've built is it's a rollator walker with a lifting and variable height seat built within it, and we're looking to change lives for the better, and we're really hoping that it allows these people who want to stay at home, who might have a fall risk, or who might need that extra leverage for daily activities of living, to have that support behind them.
So there's that goosebump factor again.
Yeah.
That just sounds wonderful, and also when you talk about a superstar, you're absolutely right. You've partnered up with a true superstar there. There's no question about that. So, however that connection was made, and rather fortuitous for both of you. I can certainly envision what the two of you in the same room would look like. So kudos to you, and kudos to Tracy for reaching out and making that connection. And interesting to hear how your experiences at Acadia have all sort of culminated into this experience with connecting with an alum like Tracy. Your work with Smile, your leadership, your determination, your degrees. It's pretty incredible. So I'm really glad that we had this opportunity to chat, Liam, and appreciate your time that you've shared with us, and the pieces of you that you've shared with us. On behalf of the Alumni Association and the Office of Advancement, congratulations on your award.
Thank you very much. I'm appreciative of everyone at Acadia, and all the opportunities that were put in front of me to succeed.